This is Steve Storey. I'm with the Elkhart Model Railroad Club. I'm going to tonight demonstrate on how I ballast. That's just a little short track here to kind of get the main idea of it. And like I said, this is how I do it. That doesn't mean that everybody has to do it this way, but this is, I've kind of looked at YouTube and watched all that and seen how different people have done it, and I've just come up with my own idea, my ways of doing it. So this is how I do it. First thing, obviously, we got our track, ballast and road bed and everything like that. So, but what I do is once you figure out what kind of ballast you're going to use, I get an index card. I know I've seen some guys where they'll take and they'll just throw a whole bunch of it down and then just wipe along there. Well, then you get all kinds of stuff on the inside that it makes it hard for you get derails and everything like that. So what I do is I'll just kind of go down the middle here a little bit and just put a little bit in the middle. And it doesn't need to be a whole lot. Kind of pile it up just a little bit. And don't want to get too much in there. But then what I will do, a lot of guys, what they do is they start spreading it. I just kind of take and I tap it down a little bit. And as you tap it down, you can see how some of it goes along. Because if you look at the real railroads, obviously they don't have anything on the ballast or any ballast on top of the ties. So I just kind of keep tapping it down. Sometimes spread it out a little bit, but this way you kind of keep it off the ties and off the rails. I think I put a little bit too much in that one spot there. So, but yeah, if you get something like that, just kind of keep spreading it out. But the main thing you want to concentrate on is trying to get the ballast off the top of the ties and keep it away from the rails. And that's what I down the middle. And sometimes, and I just got, it's a artist brush. This is I think it's a 1/2 inch or something. Just picked it up at the hobby store. You do want to kind of get, if you're going to do it like this, you do want to get something that's a little bit stiff. You don't want a real flimsy one. And then this one's a little bit more flimsier, so, and just kind of, if you get some of the ballast there, just take it off there. I kind of like to go at an angle, because if you go straight on, then you start digging in, and it just starts bringing up more and more ballast. Now, I know this, it's very tedious, but it looks pretty decent. Then sometimes I'll go along, and I'll just kind of scrape it off here. But like I said, the main thing is you just want to keep it off the rails and keep it off the ties. That's the biggest thing. Just kind of go along there like that. Now, that's the middle part. I know it's a little sloppy. I'm trying to make it look halfway decent here. What I will do on the sides, I will take some Elmer's glue and I'll run a bead right along the edge here. Not a big huge bead, but glue's been sitting for a while, so I think it's getting hard. Not like that. And then what I'll do, I have a brush here. I'll take and I'll dip that in some water and then just spread this out. That way that gives you a little bit of substance, I guess, to put the ballast on. And just throw that back in there. So then I just, same thing, I'll take my card, kind of go along the edges here. And get a little bit of a pile, and that way it kind of goes towards the glue, and then you can fill it in along the way. So same thing, and just kind of tap it in a little bit. And then you can kind of, if you got glue on the side, bring that in there, and you can build that up on the side. And didn't get quite as much on there as I wanted, so just put some more on there. So and then you, again, just kind of bring it up into there, and you can play with it, do however you want it to look. But then, like I said, again, I try to keep it off the top of the ties. If you get a little bit too much, you just flatten it out. I've got an area there. It's there. So now, once I've got that done, you want to glue it down. Now, before I do that, what I'll do, I use straight alcohol. Some people use, they mix a detergent in with their glue, the dishwashing liquid and all that stuff. They mix that in with their glue. But what you need is you need something that's going to break the surface tension. Otherwise, if you try to put glue on it right now, it's just going to puddle up. You're not going to have any luck of it soaking in. So what I do, it was a hairspray bottle that my wife had, and I just kind of, you don't want to get too close to it, and then just soak it real good. And that'll break up the surface tension on it. Okay, so once I do that, then I will take a eyedropper, and then the glue that I've used, we've got it here at the club. Excuse me. It's a 4-to-1 mixture. 4 parts water to 1 part glue. And so what I do, I'll just get some in the pipette here, and then just kind of drip it along there. You don't want to squirt it out right on it, because then it'll put little holes, dimples, and everything like that in there. So just kind of dribble it along the top. Just like that. And then same thing along the edge here. And you can kind of see how some of that glue goes down onto the side there. I guess maybe what I should have done is shown you what happened if I didn't put any glue down in there, and how it would just puddle up. But you do that, and then kind of come along the bottom here, and it'll soak up into there. And that's how I do my ballasting. Now, once that dries, what you can do, I've got a little brass brush. Now you want to make sure the layout's off, because otherwise you'll short out. But as it's drying like this, you don't want to touch it. If you see something you don't like, leave it, because if you start messing with it, it's going to mess it all up. Okay, now that we've had our track has had a chance to dry, what I want to do is, how we've got some of these little ones all up along here, I'll take a brass brush, stiff brush. Make sure your track power is off, because you don't want to short this out. It'll short out. But I'll take this brush and I'll just kind of go along the top here and scrape off some of those loose granules that have gotten up there, because we don't want the trains to derail, so we scrub them off real good. Clean it off. Okay, I run my fingernail across here, back here, along the inside flange there, just to kind of make sure that we don't have any sticking in there, so so we won't have any derailments. But yeah, if you see a little bit here and there, just kind of take your brush, go along there, and it gets most of them off the top. And you may have a few stuck here and there, which you might have to use your fingernail on. But that cleans it off, and that's how I do my ballast. And pretty simple. Like I said, this is the way that I've done it. Everybody, other people have other ways of doing it. Yeah.
When you say alcohol, is it ethyl alcohol or is it rubbing alcohol?
Rubbing alcohol.
So just like from the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The 71%. Something to break the surface tension is what you need. And like I said, I've heard some guys, they put dishwashing soap in the glue. I haven't tried that. I've always had good luck with the alcohol.
And if you're going to use dishwashing soap, you only need a drop or two.
Yeah,
You don't need
yeah.
half a bottle.
Right.
Yeah, not a whole lot. So, but that's how I do my ballasting.